Hello sweet friends and welcome back to my channel. I was sick for a solid week and a half, and I was just holed up in my bed and in my house for too long. And during that time, I was just dreaming about when I could get out and have a full-on bookish day. So in today's video, we are going to be living my, dream bookish ultimate day. Well, I guess 2 days because technically we're doing stuff today and tomorrow. Today though, I'm going to go to the bookstores. I'm going to do a little book unhaul, and I'm going to get a new book journal, and then later going to work on said book journal. And tomorrow I really want to go to a coffee shop and read early in the morning, and we're just gonna do a bunch of fun bookish things. Right now I'm starving, so I need to go get some food, and then we are going to head to the bookstore because there is a new release that I am so excited for, that I've been waiting months to come out. So we're also going to go grab that and then just kind of look around and see, what's new. I ended up getting an acai smoothie from Nectar Juice Bar. The smoothie has acai, blueberry, I think banana, spinach, cashew milk, and agave, I believe. I don't know, but I love acai smoothies and I love acai bowls in the summer. I'm now at Half Price Books, and I only have a few books that I'm unhauling. First one is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I recently read this in I think my last video. It was my waking up at 5 a.m. video, and I just didn't love it. I feel like enough to keep it. And I don't know if I'm going to continue the series or not, so I'm going to unhaul it. But it sucks because this is the most gorgeous cover, so I don't know, makes me kind of sad. And then I have The Martian. I liked this one, but it didn't end up being one of my favorites, so I just don't feel the need to keep it on my shelves. And then I also have Convenience Store Woman. And this one I read, I think in my reading 7 books in 48 hours or something. But this one, I liked it. It was, well, actually, it was okay. So I didn't love it enough to keep it. So I'm unhauling those 3. I don't have anything specific that I want to get here, so I'm just going to look around and see what they have, and then we're going to head to Barnes & Noble to get my new release.
I was done growing up, had enough of chasing down the sun, but suddenly I can see everything evergreen. I won't pretend I ever found my way. I've made my healthy share of fair mistakes, still learning to give in.
Okay, friends, just get my stuff together here. I went to the gym for the second time within a year, 2 year span, and my legs are destroyed. So I went to a lot of places today aside from just the bookstores. So I figured we would do, a little haul of just all the random little things I got today. So the first things are my 2 books that I got. At Half Price Books, I ended up getting V.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic. I've been really wanting to read this series, and a Booksta friend recently posted about it saying that he was obsessed with it. So very excited for that one. And then the new release that I've been very excited to pick up is No Place Left to Hide. If you saw my top 10 books of 2024, this author's other book was in that. This is one of my top 5 books of the year, and that's Not My Name by Megan Laley. So this is just her newest release that came out today, and these are YA mystery thrillers, and then this one is I believe an adult fantasy series. So those are the books that I got. And then just while I was out at the stores and stuff, I got a scarf. It's a dark brown, but it's really thick and warm. I've been really wanting to wear a cute chunky scarf with my outfits, so I saw that and it was perfect. And then I also needed to get a new beanie, so I went to Brandy Melville and I got this cute little gray beanie. And then I also got this really cute and comfy tank top. I don't know if you can tell, but it's blue and stripy, and then it's got these little bows at the top. I've just been loving this color, this light blue and stripes lately. So I got a little mini trial size of this skincare product, and so far I've been really liking it, so I just got a full-sized, package of it, and that is the Biossance Squalene and Copper Peptide Rapid Plumping Serum. My face has been so dry, so I have needed as much hydration as I possibly can get. And then the last 2 things I got, I believe, are I went to Uptown Cheapskate, which is a thrift store around my area. So I just got this Reebok stock, big comfy t-shirt. I have just been needing more like comfortable, lounge around the house t-shirts, so I got that one. And then I also got this one's pretty massive, so this is probably going to be more of a sleepy time t-shirt, but it's this like Van Halen, I don't know, it's literally so big, but it's like a light yellow, and I thought it was really cute. So that's all the stuff that I got today. I did go to Michael's, the craft store, because I wanted to get my book journal and like a bunch of cute stationery things for book journaling, but they didn't have like anything in stock. So I think I'm just gonna get all that stuff online. But until then, I can show you guys kind of what I have planned for the book journal. But that's all on my computer because I did a whole Notion board on it. So I made this little board in my Notion that has just all of my ideas for like the pages that I want to do in my reading journal, and then down here I also have my spread inspo. So these are kind of just like the pages, like the types of pages that I want to do in my reading journal. This year I really want to focus on doing like themed spreads for each of my favorite books that I read. So like down here I have pictures of inspiration from like the book Heartless and the book Magnolia Parks. I just picked random pictures that I saw on Pinterest, so like these books specifically don't really have anything to do with it. I just like the way that like the spreads were kind of set up. I like the colorful tapes and the fun pictures and just everything is like, it's very themed, and it just gives like a general like vibe of what happens like in the book, and I really like that. I also think it would be really fun to do this like yearly book tracker. So I would do my goal, which I believe I set my goal at 75 books for 2025, but I like how this person did it to where each color is like what they rated the book, because that way at the end of the year I can look at it and see like how many of each rating I had, if that makes sense, and like what my most common rating was. I put quite literally everything in my life in my Notion, so I'm actually very excited to be working with them on this video. They are the sponsor of today's video. If you aren't already using Notion to organize your life, it is a great thing and a great tool to utilize in 2025 in the new year. Notion makes it really easy to manage every part of your life all in one tool, and it is all personalized to however you work best. So if you're in school, this is a great way to keep on top of your assignments, your due dates, your agendas. You can also collaborate with other people, so if you have like group projects or different assignments that you're working on with other people, you can all collaborate on that in Notion, which is really helpful. They also recently released a really fun new feature called Notion Faces, and this is basically where you can personalize your own portrait or profile picture using their vast library of art created by the original Notion illustrator. This feature is another really fun way to just personalize your page, and it also makes it a lot easier to identify people when you are collaborating. With it being the new year, Notion is perfect for tracking habits, to-do lists, reading lists, anything that you can think of that requires a list or organizing, you can do it in Notion. You can make your own pages from scratch or use templates from their extensive library and just edit them in a way that fits you best. With my ADHD, my brain works in very odd and complex ways, so Notion has helped me so much with staying organized, remembering deadlines, tasks, etc. in a way that works best for how I operate, especially when it comes to content creation. Notion has been a key element in my creative process since I do pretty much all my video outlines and like I have all my content creation calendars and everything in my Notion. By using the link down in my description, you can start using Notion today for free, which I very highly recommend, especially with everyone setting new Year's goals, resolutions. If you are just wanting to get organized for the new year, definitely go and check Notion out, and thank you so much to Notion for sponsoring today's video. I do think that I'm going to go online and order all of my reading journal stuff so I can actually get started on this. Tonight though, I think I might start this new release. I just have no patience and I really want to get to it. And I didn't realize it's only 250 pages, so it's actually a very short read, and I feel like just with the way that her other book was for me, this is going to fly by. The little synopsis on the back says, to Brooke, image is everything. She works hard to maintain perfect grades, perfect looks, a perfect life, especially after the incident that threatened it all. Getting into her dream university puts her that much closer to a fresh start. How can she say no to celebrating with all of her classmates? Hanging out with her crush by the bonfire is the perfect end to the night, except it isn't the end. An old SUV starts aggressively tailing Brooke and her best friend on the isolated road toward home. Someone thinks they know the truth about the incident and they won't stop until it's all out in the open. This terrifying drive is about to bring out Brooke's worst fears if she survives it. It sounds so interesting, and I'm just genuinely so excited for this. So I'm gonna get cozy and start my new book.
You got me shaking, yeah, I feel the fever coming on. Boy, you know you're all I want. Keep saying that I hate it, but it's kind of fun. Watching me come undone. No more games. Can't we just say its name instead of running away?
Hello hello, sweet friends. It is actually the next day, but last night I got to page 116 in No Place Left to Hide, and the chokehold that this book has on me right now, I love this book. I just love the way this author writes. Like, I have heart palpitations throughout this entire read, and it's just so fast paced. Like, I just want to keep turning the page because I'm like, hey, what the heck is gonna happen? It's just like, in my opinion, the perfect YA novel. This one and That's Not My Name, they both just have this weird way of just like keeping me hooked. And I love how in this one you have a mean girl. I mean, you have our main character and her best friend, and then you have a mean girl who is Claire, and she's the girl that this incident happened with. And it's kind of giving Pretty Little Liars vibes. Take that with a grain of salt because I honestly can't even really explain why it gives those vibes, but that's just kind of what I'm getting from it. But I am going to finish it tonight. But for now, my reading journal came in and I went to the craft store today and picked up some papers and printed out some pictures of books and other little things. So for the next little bit, I'm going to be working on my reading journal. So I just got this basic blue one off of Amazon, and I did get a blank journal, which I'm kind of regretting because I kind of wanted the dotted journal because it is a lot easier to like get the measurements right. So I don't know, I'm kind of regretting that, but at the same time, I feel like having just like a blank slate will be kind of fun. So at the craft store, I picked up a bunch of these like patterned and, you know, colored papers and things. So I'm going to be cutting these out and using them for each spread. And then I also cut out just a bunch of pictures of little books. And then I started with 4 different of my favorite books to do like themed spreads for. So I have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies as one of them. And then I just printed off and cut out like some cute little pictures. I have a bunch more over here. And then I also have some for the Unmaking of June Farrow. I have some for Project Hail Mary. And then I also have some for the Spell Shop. So those are going to be like my themed spreads. I also want to get some alphabet stickers and put reading journal on the front of this. I got this sticker in Utah when I went to visit Ashlyn and Ian. So I just thought that would be really cute to put on my reading journal. I don't know, I just didn't like the way that it was just like plain on the front. So I wanted to make it, you know, fun and cute. So for the next, honestly, probably a couple hours, I'm going to be working on my reading journal. And then later I'm going to be finishing this book because I just need to know how it ends. It's such an easy book to binge to because it is literally 250 pages. I finished No Place Left to Hide, and we have another 5-star. Our first 5-star of 2025. I don't know what it is that Maggie Laley puts in her books, but I just eat them up every single time. There's just something about this book that is so bingeable and that just draws me in, and I just absolutely loved it. These books I feel like are just, like I said earlier, like the perfect YA mystery thrillers. They're very fast paced. Are they a little bit unrealistic? Yes. Is it a little bit predictable? Also yes. But I just ate it up. I don't know why. This gives a little bit of Gossip Girl, a little bit of Pretty Little Liars. I think what I love most about this book is she has a really good way of convincing me of who is good and bad, I guess I would say. And then I just don't see some of the twists coming. I don't know, like she surprises me in her books. And that's what like I love about these reads. I really like to be shocked and I really like to be surprised. And I know you're probably like, Faith, didn't you just say that it was predictable? And yes, some of it is predictable, but it's like different. It's kind of what you predicted, but it's also like there's like a twist on it, or it's like more than what you predicted. I'm very sad that this is over now because I have to wait a whole nother year until I read another one of her books. But who knows, maybe I'll actually reread one of these this year. Oh, that was such a good time. I also finished quite a few pages of my reading journal. I don't know, the lighting keeps going in and out and it's being really weird right now, so I apologize for that. I also just feel like I really needed to point out the fact that my chair is very squeaky, so if it sounds like I'm farting, I'm not. It's just my chair. Something that I did not realize is how long each page takes to do, but that's also because I print a lot of pictures out on just like a normal paper and I like precision cut them, so I think like the cutting takes a very long time. So like today I was finishing like 2 to 3 pages and it took me a couple hours to do those, but I wanted to go through it because I do have like my 2025 TBRs on here, which I haven't talked about yet, my January TBRs in here, which I also haven't talked about yet, so I just kind of wanted to go through these pages with you guys. So for the first page here, we just have Faith's reading journal of 2025. And then the first actual page we have is my 2025 TBR. So on here, I have The Summer of Yes, The Match, Summer Romance, An Ember in the Ashes, The Do-Over, The Alice Curse, The Dagger in the Flame, Magnolia Parks, Vow of Thieves, Tress of the Emerald Sea, A Darker Shade of Magic, Throne of Glass, I think this is Kala or Kala, House of Salt and Sorrows, The Grandest Game, The Looking Glass Wars, Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and Six of Crows. Some of these I have for specific seasons, like The Summer of Yes, I'm obviously going to be reading probably in the summer. And then this is actually my book club pick for this month, which is over on Fable. I'll have it linked below. And then some of these are just series that I've been putting off for a long time, like The Ember in the Ashes, Throne of Glass, and A Darker Shade of Magic are all series that I told myself that I would read in 2025. And then the rest of them I feel like are just ones that I've been really wanting to read that I've been kind of putting off. And then the next page that we have is 2025 new releases. And I left some space down below here because I'm still not done like figuring out what all the releases are for this year that I'm like most anticipating. But for this we have The Enchanted Greenhouse, which is the same author as The Spell Shop, and then we have the third Emily Wilde book, and then we have the, I believe this is the fifth Finlay Donovan book, and then we have the second Ornithologist Field Guide to Love book, and then the third Maid book by Nita Prose, Sunrise on the Reaping, Mystery Royale, The Crash, Wings of Starlight, Head Cases, and Climate of Chaos. These are just ones that are either like, these are all continuations of series that I really enjoyed, except for this one. I guess this is a standalone. And then this is the new book in the like Hunger Games world. This one is a new YA mystery thriller that I'm really excited for. Of course, we have to have Freida McFadden's new releases. This one I think is like a Tinkerbell retelling or something. It has like a little Disney logo on it, so it's like a Disney book, I guess. This one looks really cool. It's like a crime FBI type of deal. And then this one I think is kind of like a apocalyptic, maybe dystopian type of thing, maybe sci-fi, I'm not quite sure. And then the next page that I have actually isn't done yet, but this is where my like dedicated book spreads start. So this one is for The Spell Shop. I want to fill up this empty space, so I did order some like washi tape and stickers and stuff that I'm probably going to just like throw around here. But we just have some pictures like from the book, like this is the bakery in the book, this is kind of like the town and the cottage from the book that I thought fit best. And then we have some jam and some books, and then we have Kaz over here, then we have Keela and LaRon, and then just a little foraging basket, and then I just put some little quotes here and there. And then the next page is my Project Hail Mary and the Unmaking of June Farrow spreads. This Project Hail Mary spread is probably my favorite thing that I have ever made. I'm very proud of this one. So we just have some planets, an astronaut, the book itself, and then I guess there's a movie coming out with Ryan Gosling as the main character, so I have him. I was very, very excited about this. And then over here, this one's also not really done. I have to fill in like these little empty spaces, and I have some washi tape that I'm going to be putting on some of these pictures, and I just have some quotes, the infamous red door. I love the vibe of the Unmaking of June Farrow, so I was really excited to put it together like visually. And then the next one that we have is my top 10 of 2024, which I did make a video about all these books. So yeah, these are my top 10 reads of 2024 if you haven't seen that video yet. And then the next page is my ratings and my 2025 reading goal. So I technically have like 70 to 75 books, but for the sake of it just being like an equal amount of squares, I just equaled it out to 72. So every time I read a book this year, I'm going to be filling it in like this. And like I said earlier, I made it color coded, so whatever I rated the book is the color that I'll fill in the numbers with. And then for the last page that I have done so far is my January TBR and my January wrap up. I kept my January TBR very low this month because I do have just like some dedicated videos that I wanted to read these books in. And like for example, A Court of Wings and Ruin, that's probably going to take me a little bit longer to read, so I just didn't want to put any pressure on myself. But for my January TBR, I have Prodigy, The Gilded Cage, Grey After Dark, Tress of the Emerald Sea, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. Trust of the Emerald Sea, like I said earlier, is my book club pick, and then Gray After Dark is my in-person book club pick. But yeah, this is my reading journal setup for right now. Okay, I actually did 2 more pages of my reading journal last night, so I wanted to show you guys the little flip through. One of them isn't done yet. Well, actually, they're both not completely done yet, but for the majority, they're done. So I also did the reappearance of Rachel Price, and I also casted them a while ago on my stories, and these are who I pictured like all the characters as, and then I just have the actual book up here, some quotes. So yeah, this is my reappearance of Rachel Price spread, and then I also did one for Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies and Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, and this is what I have so far. So in the first book, I feel like it's more of like a snowy atmosphere, and in the second book, I feel like it's more springy. I could be wrong, I can't honestly remember correctly. So I just did more of a snowy vibe for Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and then just more like springy kind of floral on the other one. Again, just have some quotes and some fun pictures of like the characters. This is Wendell, and then this is Emily and Wendell. This is just like what I picture Emily wearing, and then we've got like a page out of her encyclopedia, and then her working on her encyclopedia, and then we have a little map and the journal, because if you've read the book, you know that a lot of it is in like journal entries, or I think all of it isn't technically like journal entries, but they don't read like journal entries. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. And then we have one of my favorite characters, which is Poe, and he's like this cute little, I don't know, fairy dude. But yeah, that's the other stuff that I got done in my reading journal. But I am going to end this vlog here. Thank you for coming along with me on my dream bookish days. I know this turned into more like 2 to 3 days instead of like 1 to 2 days, but it was still fun nonetheless. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.